Coming up, we're going to be talking about experience, space, and how it can affect and grow your team with Stephen Vaivada on Beyond Four Walls. What do you get when you mix ambition, chaos, and a half-written business plan? This fucking show. No sharks, no suits, just real people building big things and trying not to lose their minds in the process. This is Beyond Four Walls. On this episode of Beyond Four Walls, we'll continue to talk with Stephen Vaivada about some of the experiences you've had as you've been growing your business and your team and how it affected you and all that other stuff. So why don't we start with, like, you've been a part of the Work Nicer community for a while. Let's talk a little bit about why are you still here? Like, what are some of the things that really, you really love about being here, and the things that you're like, fuck, you know what? If you don't fix this, I'm gone. Like shit like that. Like, how does space and environment help you in building a team and reaching your goals?
I mean, I think if you're somebody who, and I am somebody who's directly impacted by who you're around, the environment you're in, even now, right? Like, I think some people who are, in their 30s. I was in my 30s when I started at Work Nicer.
Yeah, so was I.
Remember. And I was still very, and I think I am still open to a lot of experiences and meeting different people and the conversations and trying to learn from others' experiences, mistakes, and trials and tribulations. The co-working environment was really helpful to kind of take my own stresses and fears down a notch, because I could see that I wasn't special. I wasn't unique in a lot of respects. There was some stuff I was dealing with that I couldn't connect necessarily to everyone. Yeah. But yeah, I think I initially had joined a different co-working space. Sorry to break your heart, but that place was not at all what I was looking for. It was
name names.
I can't.
Name names, Stephen.
The bridge.
The bridge.
That was.
Rip.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were nice enough.
Yeah, no.
But the environment was very stale. It didn't have a lot of the vibrancy, randomness, chaos that I was looking for. So we kind of looked around, and I gave one of my interns the task of going to a few different co-working spaces, and he came back and said, I think you should check this one out. So we went over to the Work Nicer on Stephen Ave. This is going back probably.
Rip.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best to ever do it,
Hey, it's what brought me in too.
Right? Yeah. It was a great place in the city too.
People are saying great place. Cut that out, Arden. I'm not a Trump supporter.
So that space was great because it was near kind of all the hubbub of the city, and
but not right in it.
Yeah, you could get parking. Cool. Yeah. It was great, and it was perfect for where we were as a young startup, trying to find our way, and like I said, like, be around other people doing the same thing, trying to start a company, trying to find their own way. Those were some of the best drinking sessions that there ever was. It was those early days where, we're kind of between jobs. There's nothing on us. We can, sit down and have 2 or 3 and catch up with everyone. Where were you coming from? What had you done? And that influence was huge on me. Cause I don't personally have a lot of role models for entrepreneurship. I don't have uncles, aunts, brothers. I don't have people who've done this before. So I really needed to be around other people doing the same thing. And that was huge for me. And since then we've stayed here because the younger folks in the team get a lot out of it. They come in, they sit down, they don't even sit in our office. They're out in the common areas, hanging out, they're in a booth, they're taking their calls and their Zoom calls. And I can see that they are getting something out of it because they're connecting with other young professionals.
Right.
They're being around other entrepreneurs and people who are hustling. And thought, that's huge it was huge for me.
Yeah.
When I was starting out, and I can only translate that into their experience. If they're here and they're wanting to be in person and they're choosing to come here instead of staying at home and kind of rotting away.
Well, there's benefits to being at home. Like the world's changed. Like, I don't think that companies that force people in the same way that they used to, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, like are going to get the best talent. Like, people do want the optionality, the flexibility, right? Yeah. It's just nice to have something where I don't have to talk about, First Nation relations with energy companies and government regulations all day, every day.
Thank God.
I can talk to somebody who's doing like videography for podcasts.
I get to talk to Sean about, the latest crisis.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll get into those.
They're not always happening.
Look, nothing is.
The beer ran out.
Sure. There's
only one bathroom working now.
There's not only one bathroom working now. However, I do like to say that, don't let perfect be the enemy of great. Don't hey, if that's not just good, it's good enough. When the situation is correct, as like entrepreneurs and as people who are perfectionists. I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm married to one. I have one of my kids is, you have to be able to support them in that, hey, it's not going to be 100%, but 98's good. And if it's a small thing, just let it go.
Well, and we get so much out of being here for things we don't even think about.
Right.
Well, I get lost in kind of the hubbub and the day-to-day that sometimes it's even hard to get the passing of the days, the weeks, the months.
Oh yeah.
So, you've got Work Nicer Fest.
Nicer Fest
coming up
August 14th, 4 p.m. 2025. If you're listening to this a year from now, there'll be one next year too, probably.
Yeah, an event every summer, right?
Yeah.
You guys get your Christmas decorations out. I enjoy
holiday decorations.
Sorry. A non-denominational holiday.
Non-denominational
decorations.
Holiday decorations. Yes.
I enjoy that personally, and
nice.
I enjoy. By the way, I will take some credit for Nicer Fest. It was actually my idea that I gave to one of your wonderful staff. But anyways, it's you guys have taken it and made.
You heard it here first.
Things. Steve Vaivada.
Yeah.
Nicer Fest.
You know what? Next year we're gonna go Steve Vaivada's
Nicer Fest. Yeah, put it on the banner.
Love it.
I'll pay for it.
You're already paying for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, none of this is free, everybody.
I'm paying to be on this. I'm paying to be on this episode.
No, you're not paying to be on this podcast. Oh my God.
But it's been huge.
Yeah,
in so many ways.
Yeah, it's. I think that there's, and again, I came to Stephen Avenue 7.5 years ago, looking for a place where I just could get some work done. I was managing a team and I had multiple roles. So I didn't have my own business, but I had two things I needed to do. And one of those things I wasn't able to do when I was in my own company's office. And it was just by meeting people in at networking events that would mention that they're at Work Nicer that I was like, oh shit, I should maybe I'll keep it in the back of my head. And I think 3 months went by and then I went and toured and team member gave me the tour. I'm like, I'm just here going to be your 1 day a week. Looks like I can get my stuff done. It's downtown adjacent. I can visit clients as well. So sign me up.
Yeah. And we don't need every bell and whistle of an office, but we do need some stuff, right? We need,
sure.
One of the things lately is we've upgraded and we've moved around a bit, and part of that is the team has grown. We need someplace to securely store our stuff. I can't have it at home. My wife will kill me if I brought stuff.
My wife.
It would just take up the entire garage with all of our office
You
stuff.
look, you have, if you're going to be storing things in your home, it should be things that are part of your family, like things that you're going to want to look at when you're 80.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But more than anything, the just the idea of like getting out, getting moving, getting energy, getting some motivation from a place has been wonderful.
No, and it's and the way I look at it, and disclaimer, I am at Work Nicer. I work for a co-working company, so I might be a little biased, but like I checked out other co-working spots after I had started as a member here, because my experience here was like, wow, I've met so many people. There's a platform for me to like potentially do business in, potentially make friends with, or I don't need any of that. I've got great Wi-Fi, I've got a spot to work and all that other shit. And I thought like the whole community thing was a co-working thing. And then I went and toured a couple places that shall not be named and that are no longer existing.
Exactly.
And it was like, oh, okay, this is maybe something a little bit different.
Well, we have to find places for our Indigenous staff. So we do maintain an office on a First Nations reserve. And
where is it again?
Well, at Tsuut'ina.
Oh, it's in Tsuut'ina. I know we talked about like potential Tsuut'ina.
That would be great. That would be wonderful eventually. But we're in a little spot there where we got a desk for our staff that receive a tax benefit by working on reserve, and we are.
But that's not why you're there.
That's not
disclaimer.
We are there for convenience.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not Work Nicer, and it's not at all what I would have chosen if I had any options. So
if only there was somebody who I could talk to that could help me and a potential First Nation to come together and find ways to collaborate where there's a win-win solution. Do you know of anybody?
www.scouteng.com 403-813-2855. Steve Vaivada, I'm your man. No, I think
what a guy.
Yeah, ready at all times.
Yeah.
I think very interesting. Actually, I think the co-working space idea very applicable.
Yeah.
To kind of the current state. I mentioned I don't have role models. Same thing in a lot of the First Nations communities. They need something like a Work Nicer, if not in structure, certainly in purpose and in function.
And I think that and we should maybe end on like, community. When we talk about like First Nations, you talk about the engineering community, right? Like people with engineering degrees, they have the ring, right? And like engineers have their own community, and architects will have their own community, videographers will have their own community. Having a place where all of these smaller communities of people who are doing the same thing or have that thing in common can come together and feel a part of a bigger community.
Well, there's nothing stopping any Indigenous entrepreneurs out there from looking you guys up. I mean, I know. I think, the culture and the space and the approach have now in this flat spot in the business have been more around urgency and timeliness of solutions, and to get our team to act as if they know that there's these boulders we have to jump out of the way of that are coming at us. And to the credit of everybody that works for me on my team, they've all risen to the challenge, and we're getting through this flat spot right now, and we're moving on. But like the roller coaster of entrepreneurship is for a particular type of person. Please do your research. Try to find somebody who has had some struggles. Because the impact mentally of those downturns can be as brutal as almost anything I think you can go through.
I I like to say that, your business is not a baby. Your business is a business.
Mm-hmm.
What is a business? A business exists to derive dividends to its shareholders. However, when you found your own business and it's like your heart and soul, because that's how it's going to get off the ground. If a business exists to just make money, it won't exist. It's hard to be able to separate out the things you have to do from a business perspective and like feelings that come with it and the difficulties.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's that there's so much out there that puts emotional attachment into entrepreneurship and running companies, or aspiration, or the facade of success. So like, I think that plays out with a lot of influencers where they are a form of entrepreneur. They're kind of a me Inc. They, focusing on those appearances or external indicators is a trap. And it lasts as long as the success lasts. But if you're being validated and deriving a lot of your emotional momentum or energy from those external indicators, it's an impossible thing to keep up.
You end up in your own
You have to delude
bubble.
yourself. Yeah, you have to find ways to keep that up that are divorced from reality. And so that's why I don't refer to our team as a family.
Yeah.
I really hate that language. We're a family. It's like, family doesn't get to choose itself. We do pick and choose who we work with.
Yeah.
People leave, people go. You don't get to leave and go from a family. So
yeah, that's true.
We're here for a purpose. Let's do that purpose, and let's do that well.
And let's be able to work together and care about each other. And, because in a family, you're going to care about your parents and your siblings and your cousins and all of that sort of stuff. And you can't walk away from it. But in a business, you're coming together, right? You're going through things that, hey, this like project that I was working on didn't achieve this result. And your team member has kind of the same ownership that you would have as the business owner for that project. We're here to support each other.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about everybody wants to succeed and be perceived as a success, to achieve something.
Yeah.
So, personally, I embrace the fact that the people who are trying their best want to succeed, and when they don't, when it falls short or things are out of their control too.
Yeah.
We can't take ownership of everything. I just tell them, I sit them down, I say, listen, you get to take 10%, 20%, whatever I think is reasonable. You only have to take this much of this failure. The rest was out of your control. You're a junior. This client was difficult. This project was impossible, whatever it is. But we have to be reasonable about what we attribute to our own, our own control.
And giving your team, like you mentioned a bit earlier in this episode, about how like they can look at things, make decisions, and go, and you have that trust in them. Like, you've also given them that permission to fail.
Oh yes.
Right. And if you don't give the people that you're working with permission to potentially screw this up, they're not going to actually get over it and figure a way out, and they'll be a little bit more hesitant. And then your life as the business owner becomes just fielding questions about, I'm thinking I should are you okay if I do this?
Oh gosh. Yeah. And you need that. You still need to be a sounding board for people's ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
But we use this idea of the decentralized team that gives authority to different people. It's based on this book, Reinventing Organizations. Great book.
Yeah.
But we operate with the idea that individuals in the team can make big financial and operational decisions.
Yeah.
And I just, that comes from my experience working in large companies, working in different places, where I felt like if I had had this culture, if I had had this opportunity to make decisions and fail, but also to be responsible for my success,
Totally.
I would have embraced it. And so that's where it comes from, is both this concept that's out there in the world that we took and have adapted, but also my own experience.
Yeah.
Desire to have a space where people can take responsibility and accountability for outcomes, but they have to have the decision-making authority to succeed, whatever that looks like. And then as owners and operators of the company, we have to promote that culture and reinforce that every day, including when mistakes are made. All I ask is that our team share their failures and their learnings, in the hope that others don't repeat their mistakes, and that we
that they don't repeat that mistake too, right?
Like, of course,
No, it is like, it is giving that like freedom and permission to like, hey, lay this out, and like we were talking about with our kids, like, you know, you're not going to be in trouble. Like, I want to be your first call, like that sort of stuff.
Right.
Stephen, where can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can reach Scout Engineering at 403-813-2855.
Who calls anymore?
I know. Text.
Oh, wait. Text. Hold on. It's like energy company. Okay.
Yeah.
We're keeping this interruption.
We can do it.
Start again from the beginning.
No, it's 403-813-2855. Or you can reach out to us at our website. We have some ways to reach out to us there at www.scouteng.com.
And if you're a Work Nicer member, hit up Stephen Vaivada on Slack. We're out of time for this episode on Beyond Four Walls. On the next episode, we are going to talk about some aha moments, stuff that you've learned over the last 8 years of running your business, whether it's personal or professional. You know, like we're getting older. Yeah, hopefully we've learned a lot. You know, so
we have no choice.
We have no choice. So we'll chat about that in the next episode. See you there. Thanks for hanging out with us on Beyond Four Walls. Businesses aren't perfect, and neither are we. Here's to all the breakdowns, breakthroughs, and everything in between. See you on Beyond Four Walls.